Right. I believe we are live in LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. I am going to invite some guests here, uh, Ken and Daryl, them because we're doing a live here. Yes, and we're going to talk about slow burn methods, which is exciting. Um, we will also be just testing, because what we've gone from is Mighty Networks, which served us well up to a point, and now we are um, using Restream here to reach all these different platforms. We go live every 2 weeks, and probably will go live more um, to talk about um, different issues, challenges facing our community when it comes to lead generation in the education space. That got real dramatic there. That got real dramatic in terms of uh, you know challenges facing people in the education space. So no drama here. As I was just talking to my coach Tony about, no drama. We do not like drama, and I think we're avoiding some drama right now in our business. So we're doing our best. So Ken is with us. I'm going to bring Ken on just because I want to see. There's Ken. Cool. Ken, I would like to hear you.
Hello.
And I can hear you. Fantastic. So let's see here. It says hi, chat overlay. Okay. Undo. So we're doing a bunch of testing and then we're going to get into slow burn methods. Ken, let's see here. As you know, my favorite part is uh, is the music. I'm trying to figure out what music you would like. Maybe you
Ooh,
are
a lounge person. A
you're a
lounge
lounge
music.
person. Okay, I was going to give you future pop. What do you think? No? Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'll get you some lounge music next time. So let's see. Thank you for joining here, Ken. I wanted to test it, and then I want to see what happens. How do you exit out off the stage? Do you do that, or do I do that?
Oh, you do that. So you just have to just change the format again of the.
I think I did it. There went Ken, and Daryl's hanging in as well. The three of us are, along with Wilson and Fernando and Tony, are the brains and the beauty behind this operation. So interestingly enough, what I can't tell is necessarily, if people are tuning in. We are doing this through LinkedIn, so I'm going to kind of look at LinkedIn and see what if I can even see myself there. It does say that I'm live, so that's good. And we are doing. There it is. There it is. So yeah, we're doing this testing. This is an interesting test for us, and it's crazy for me, mainly because back in the day when I was on TV, WHSV. Hello, Lynette. Thank you for joining, you rock star. Um, so let's see. We've got Brent, who just texted me. He's a member of our community. Lynette knows him well. Yes, Brent, we are doing the LinkedIn Live right now, and then we have a closed event for our community at noon Mountain 2 East, where we're interviewing and hearing from Lucas Price on how to hire your first salesperson. So, Brent, hopefully you can find that. Maybe Ken, if you can, maybe you could email Brent and tell him to join through LinkedIn, through Instagram, through Facebook, through YouTube. And let's see here. I'm going to go to chat and say, Hola, Lynette. There you are, Lynette. How are you? Hope you're well. Um, Thank you for joining. I know you've got some contract stuff going on at your house, so thank you for joining. Um, testing. So, but let's get into the real deal here. We are here to talk about slow burn methods for lead generation in ed tech. So as we get into it, I'd love to see some comments. I believe that Lynette is now joining through LinkedIn, and what's cool is that Lynette is commenting, and it's all coming into Restream. What a beautiful thing! And as what I was saying before, my background is in broadcast journalism. Spent a few years as a sports anchor at WHSV TV. Awesome couple years. And we didn't have a live truck at WHSV in beautiful Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is the poultry capital of the country. There's Ken joining from Facebook. Awesome. We didn't have a live truck. So we used to like fake lives. What we would do, the production folks would run a very large cable from the production studio all the way out the front door. And that would, so it would be live, but we wouldn't necessarily be using, the airwaves to do it. But, you get creative. We all get creative in our businesses. So now we're live, and we are live across 1, 2, 3, 4 platforms, all for the beautiful price of $19 a month, which is amazing. So thank you to the folks at Restream, and thank you to the folks at Mighty Network who helped us kind of realize that these lives are great. They're helpful for me as kind of growing the business and learning the business better. And I think they're helpful for our group to get together. And now we're making it easier for everybody to get together because Mighty Networks was a little tough for people to get in. Granted, today is the beginning of the Memorial Day weekend, so I know that people are busy, but not hopefully too busy to talk about slow burn methods for lead generation in ed tech. This is where a lot of people struggle in their businesses. Generating leads in ed tech is not easy. Generating leads in the education space is not easy. And, I talk to people about selling oil changes. An oil change, if you're selling an oil change, basically you could probably sell an oil change to 98% of people out there. The other 2% are the ones that have Lamborghinis and Ferraris and they need a special oil change or a Porsche. I know my uncle has some special oil he uses up in Portland, Oregon. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, if you're selling oil changes at Jiffy Lube, you can sell to most people. If you're selling a literacy platform like Lynette, if you're leading the homework revolution like Brent, if you are teaching fractions in a whole new way to middle school teachers like Sam, you need to sell into the education space, and that is hard. And a lot of people might have told you, look, just go to conferences. You'll meet people. Just post a lot on social media. People will follow you, and then people will want to buy from you. Nah, it doesn't work like that. Just write a bunch of blog posts. SEO will pick it up. Again, no, it doesn't work like that. And there are so many people who are giving you so many different methods that it can be confusing. It can be time consuming, and you don't always get the results. And that results in frustration. So a lot of people come to us and they have gone through every single slow burn method. Let's talk about a really good one. One of my favorites, buying lists. So many people come to us and they say, oh, well, I bought a list for $1,000 and it was 10,000 people. So I'm good to go, right? I'm going to get one out of that. And, I sell my product for $200,000 a year to a school. Those lists are crap. They're actually crap. They have been sold and resold. Hubert, how you doing? Thank you for joining. You were there when we started in Mighty Networks, and look where we have gotten to, all through your support. So thanks, Hubert, for joining. Hubert and I have been working together for a long time and love watching this guy's growth. So feel free to chime in, Hubert, Lynette, anybody else who's out there. I'm able to see the messages. We are talking about slow burn methods. And the first one that I think is really the most interesting is conferences and networking, handing out business cards at a conference. The challenge, I think, mostly with conferences is that you spend so much time, or at least I do, I know that, spend so much time preparing for a conference, trying to figure out who's going, who's speaking, who's attending. You've got to get yourself there. You've got to get yourself a hotel. You've got to figure all that out. How are you going to get every cent out of your investment? And so you go to this conference, put all this effort into getting there, you get there, and then there's kind of a lack of targeting. What I mean by that is you don't know if you're dealing with the decision makers. And we want to reach decision makers. You don't even know if you're dealing with the right audience at that point. There's a limited connection, right? Because you're walking up and you're handing out your business card, and unfortunately, don't tell anybody, but your business card is probably going in the trash. And they get your business card, and you're hopeful that it ends up in a bag and then on a desk, and then you're connecting, but there's a limited connection there. There's so much competition, because everybody is coming with the same approach. They just want to get, and go. And they got to move on to the next person. So everybody's just kind of running around. It's like ants marching. Then there's kind of a lack of context, without a meaningful conversation or interaction to accompany the exchange of said business cards. So you don't even get to talk much when you hand that business card over. So that's the challenge with conferences, before and during. And then after, you get back and you've got to run your business. So you've got to get back, you got to run your business, you got to figure out what happened at that conference. So that's a challenge there. There's social media. Okay. Social media and content marketing. You could try content marketing. Posting on social media can absolutely raise your brand awareness. That's great. It can hopefully engage your audience, but it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort. And by the way, only 3 to 5% of people actually see your content. So you better be posting 24/7, 365. And by the way, I don't know you that well, but I would imagine that you did not get into this business to be a content creator. If you're anything like Lynette, you got into this business to help kids read better. If you're anything like Hubert, you got into this business to create the greatest tutoring platform ever, not to be a content creator. But you're going to have to figure that part out as well. We can help you with that. Paid ads. To me, paid ads feel like gambling at a casino. I'll put $20 a day down, or I'll put $10 a day or $5 a day down and see what happens. Well, you've got uncertain results there, because even if you spend a lot on ads, doesn't guarantee they're going to reach the right people or convince them to buy from you. I mean, when's the last time you actually saw an ad and bought? Now, if you know me, I'm an absolute target for soccer jerseys with collars, as my friend Kevin would say. And if you know me, I'm a pretty good target for anything Adidas puts out there. But when's the last time you actually bought something that was a significant investment that also was going to take a significant amount of your time? So ads like that just don't work. And then you've got high cost. Then you've got limited targeting, especially if you haven't figured out your ideal client. And then there's ad fatigue, because those ads keep running and running and running and running. And eventually people click, I'm done. SEO. SEO is great because it does help you get found when people are searching for you on Google. The challenge is that SEO takes 6 to 12 months to get going. Now, if you're looking for a great SEO person, check out my buddy, friend, colleague, Paul Skirby, Skirbe. He's the best SEO guy in the business. So he can help you, but it's still going to be work and it's still going to take time. But at least you get to work with one of the best guys in the business, one of the best guys I know. So that's SEO. Now, here's another one of my favorites. sending cold emails. My screen just went off there. That was weird. Ken, are we still live? I was rolling. Ken, Daryl, are we still live? My screen just turned off. It's good to know. Okay, Daryl says yes in the private chat. Cool. That was crazy. I had to figure out why that happened. But nonetheless, here we are. As I was getting to cold emails, that's a really good time for everything to kind of shut down because I'm about to get really excited. And it's hot here. So give me a second, guys. Let me turn the fan on. It's really hot where we are. This is like truly live TV. Truly live TV. I'm still live, Brent. Thank you. I'm still alive, even though it's super hot where I am. And I'm about to get even more excited because we're about to talk about cold email. Cold email, something I've been doing since 2010, where we were trying to find PTAs who wanted our after-school enrichment. And we found them and we sent them emails, but the world was so different back then in terms of sending emails. The world was so different. We could get a list. Again, we were buying lists back then. Don't buy lists now. We were buying lists back then, like 10,000 people, 20,000 people, and just throwing them and just sending them emails, and it was fine. But now that doesn't happen that way because, listen up, this might even call for, let me see here. Let's try this. This might even call, I'm going to try this. Give me a second. New toy. Because guess what happens when you send too many emails from your top level domain? I'll tell you what happens. You're going to ruin your reputation on email, and you're not going to be able to email anybody. And hopefully that was a nice use of the cinematic music that Restream provides. So you do not want to do that. Okay. Cold emails, lack of personalization. Generally, they're impersonal. People write too much. There are trust issues when people receive your cold emails. There's generally low conversion rates, although we don't experience that. There are legal concerns depending on where you live. And there's lots of missed opportunities with relationship building. So cold email can be super, super, super effective. And I'll tell you how, but it can also be extremely dangerous when it comes to your top level domain. So I do not suggest that you go into the cold email business on your own. Sorry, someone's trying to call. So these are all of the methods that we've spoken about over and over again when it comes to slow burn methods. And all of these methods can work if you do the right work. I'm more a big fan of hunting methods. And my coach likes to talk about hunting and farming. So those slow burn methods, it's like planting an apple tree. It's going to take time. That's that farming, right? But the hunting is what we want to talk about today as well. And one of the best hunting methods is LinkedIn. And now you're saying, okay, I caught him. I caught Josh in a lie. He can't be talking about LinkedIn because he just told me social media is not the way to go. LinkedIn is not a social media platform per se. It's for networking if you use it that way. Somebody put that up on the El Presidente. Can you put that up on the quote board that we have somewhere for our community? Now, LinkedIn works for lead generation because there's a professional focus. There's direct targeted outreach. There's actually quicker results because if you reach people with the right message at the right time, they're going to respond. How do you reach people at the right time? Good question. You reach people at the right time because you have been communicating with them, following with them, engaging with them, nurturing with them for quite some time. So you don't just get onto LinkedIn and ask somebody, hey, can we meet? I want to sell you something. That to us is the Barney Stinson way. And if you watch How I Met Your Mother, you understand we do not encourage the Barney Stinson way when it comes to LinkedIn or really anything. So content creation, when it comes to content creation on LinkedIn, that's very valuable because people are seeing what you're saying. And you could even create content by commenting on your competition, which is not easy to say. But that's an interesting approach that my coach, Tony, said. Lynette, awesome. Come back whenever. Love having you. So commenting on your competition, because your ideal clients are most likely living in your competition's content. And so, yes, you get a chance to raise them up. That's all good. Your competition, that is. And people get a chance to see you. So that's great. And I'm pretty sure I've got somebody who's kind of doing that a bit for me in my LinkedIn profile. I'm getting comfortable with it. It's all good. And you get to build relationships. And in fact, finally, the person I'm referencing, I think, is kind of coming to me and saying, let's talk. I might be able to help you and your people. And I'm open to that, anything to help our community. And, you know, LinkedIn also provides that rapid lead generation. By targeting the right audience, delivering the right messages, LinkedIn can be a powerful tool for generating leads quickly. So here's really what we're talking about. There are slow burn methods, and we kind of went through all of them, right? We talked about conferences. We talked about social media. We talked about paid ads. We talked about SEO, and we talked about cold emails. And all of those can work. They can. They're slow burn methods until they become potentially farming methods. And they become farming methods when you do the work that is necessary. They become farming methods when you really, truly go through a process. This is a process we teach that I'm very proud of, that Lynette and Hubert and Brent have all been through. We've been through it together, in fact. And conferences become more valuable. SEO becomes more effective. Paying for ads, yeah, spend the $10, spend the $20. Actually, we have a client who's spending $20 a week, $20 a day, and we're encouraging her to double, maybe triple that because it's working. So when you can take these slow burn methods and make them farming methods, great. Now, hunting methods are different. LinkedIn is an amazing hunting method. Again, you got to do the hard work because you got to know who you want to talk to. You got to test your messaging. You got to nurture. But once you do that, you're in a place where people want to network, where people do not want to see what you did last weekend or the green smoothie you created, you know, all of those different things, or your daughter skateboarding in my case. So the hunting methods are very powerful. And we use LinkedIn messaging and targeting day in and day out. And I have a lot of people who come and they say, I don't generally respond to these LinkedIn messages, but for you, I did. And I think the reason is because we have targeted them well. We have great messaging that is not AI generated. And when they go and check out my profile, they see that we've been posting and we're speaking to them and there's credibility there. And then after that, when we meet, we have a discovery call. I get to know them. We then have what we call a self-identification call. And then we either close or we nurture. And I'm not saying it's easy, but we have a system. And I love helping people build their systems. And so that's our system. It works. And if other people want to learn about it, that's perfectly fine too. So I've got these noises coming, Ken. I don't know what those noises are, but if I'm missing something, let me know. but I hear these noises, so all good. So, again, we're here kind of testing out LinkedIn Live. Pretty cool. Our community is meeting in 35 minutes. We're welcoming Lucas Price, who's just a rock star in sales. Lucas is going to talk about hiring your first salesperson. People who go through our cohort immediately become a member of our mastermind group, immediately get added to our mastermind chat, and then get access to our events. And we have minimum of 2 events a month. One of them is a speaker. Lucas is coming up. And then we also have our very famous Dolphin Tank. And our Dolphin Tank is where a week before we put out a spreadsheet, everybody puts their biggest challenge in the education space, and then we all meet and help each other. It's basically the opposite of a Shark Tank, because basically everybody who has gone through our program is a wonderful person and just wants to help and not take each other down, and recognizes that the education space is so large. So at this point, we have not really promoted our LinkedIn Live or going live anywhere. So we're still kind of testing. But for those who are out there, and to tell you the truth, I'm not sure how many people are out there, because I can't necessarily the numbers in LinkedIn right now, in Facebook, in Instagram, in YouTube. For people who are out there, if you have questions, pop them in. And if there's nobody out there right now, I get that too. A lot about what we teach through the Ed Sales Elevation experience is some initial rejection or potentially objections. Your main objection right now, hopefully, is that it's Friday of Memorial Day and you're out of town and you're at the beach and you're just taking a break, and you need to do that from your business. So we'll get better and get more and more people to join these LinkedIn Lives. And I want to make sure that we can have more interaction. That's one thing that we're going to figure out. How do we have more interaction? So I'm thinking what we might do is kind of have a space for where we invite people like Brent and Lynette and Hubert to kind of actively be a part of the conversation. So they're kind of on the inside of the restream, and then we can have everybody else join in. So we'll kind of figure that out as we go. Our good buddy John Gamba is not able to make it today. He's down in Florida doing some stuff for the Gamba Family Foundation, and I believe playing golf. So with his family. So that's all good. So John will join us next. I wanted to bring up a couple of other housekeeping notes here. We have a masterclass coming up on June 4th and 5th. And Ken, if you are able to, maybe you can pop the link to that in to the chat. I don't want to do that. I'm probably mess something up. Maybe you can put that in the chat, the masterclass chat for all of our channels there. And then Ken or Daryl, if you can put in the link to the Catalyst event, which I'm looking at right now, and that I can easily put into the chat here. And then maybe you can throw that into the bigger chat. I'll put that right here. Boom. So Ken, maybe you can put that around on our chat, so that, this is kind of what's coming up in our community. We have a masterclass coming up on the 4th and the 5th. We have a bunch of people joining, and that will lead to a cohort. Our next cohort starts on June the 25th, and we have 10 seats available. And I'm proud to say we have sold 8, which is really friggin' exciting, and a lot of validation for what our team is doing. So thank you to the 8 people who have signed up, and there's only 2 spots left. And then we have I feel like I need some music for that. And it's probably some epic music. This is what they call epic music. We have a cohort coming up on June the 25th. And we have 10 seats available. And 8 of them have been sold. Pretty cool. So there's 2 links there. One to join the masterclass, and then one to join the event June 21 at the University of Pennsylvania. It's the Catalyst Summit. Hopefully, everybody can join. I know Brent's going to be there. Hubert, that's a trek for you. Lynette, not that far. Detroit to Philly, right? Probably for you. And we hope more people can join. So I'm just so appreciative of a few different things as we wrap up here. First of all, Ken and Daryl on our team figured out how to get this restream going, and we got all of our channels set. So this will only get bigger and better. That's what she said. And I'm appreciative for everybody who joined. I hope that you guys got value out of it. This is our first time doing this type of event. So I had a little bit of jitters going into it, but it's just so cool when you see these familiar faces. So we're going to figure out going into the next one how to have more folks live and have a conversation. But at this point, I think we have successfully tested Restream, feel pretty good about it, talked about slow burn methods, talked about hunting methods, talked about the masterclass, talked about the Catalyst Summit, and we hit all the points that we wanted to. My goal overall is to provide value to everybody who joins and who listens. So if you have ideas, feedback, thoughts, concerns, feel free to send them my way. Easy to find me on LinkedIn. And I'm going to close this out for now because we are 29 minutes away from hearing from Lucas Price. Easy for me to say. Lucas Price. Check him out. Lucas Price will join us and talk about hiring your first salesperson. And the reason that's super important is because after you have figured out all of the important foundational work that you have to do, the slow burn methods become farming methods. The hunting methods become more effective. And you as a founder will need to hire your first salesperson. So there's a plug for Lucas Price. However, the talk with Lucas Price is limited to people who are in our mastermind group, and that's everybody who has been through the EdSales Elevation Experience. So again, very, very grateful for being able to try out Restream. Seems very easy. Love playing with the music. And thankful to everybody who joined. And for those like Lynette and Brent and Hubert and anybody out there who's in our mastermind group, see you in 28 minutes.